and we're very appreciative that you've come to honor our retirees this year. Every year this is a tough time for all of us because we're losing some great people again. But not losing them, they're just going on to a different lifestyle. So, before I get started, I'd like to introduce a couple people. Bob Regan, former superintendent, is here. Bob? And a couple board members. Bev Levy's here. Bev? And Lori Barbieri. Where are you at, Lori? I think that most of you are probably staying in touch with public education today, and you know as well as I do that the folks that are on the front lines face some very, very challenging times ahead of us. And with some of these new policies and new procedures that are coming out of the state right now, it's making it increasingly more challenging for all of us to do what we've done and what we've been accustomed to in Haslett. And our goal still is to provide the best opportunities that we possibly can for our children and continue to provide the best education. And you know, one of the questions that I asked, I had an opportunity to visit with every group, teaching group at least this spring, to talk about how things are going in their buildings and how education in general is going. And I would tell you this, that to a person, each person would tell you that the education that we are providing students today is far superior than what we were doing 5 or 6 years ago. And that's a testament to you folks that are sitting here, but also a testament to you folks that have gone on to retire, because I think you were the building blocks and the foundation of such an outstanding education in Haslett Public Schools. So I want to give all of you folks a round of applause. Please join me now. I'm going to introduce Sharon Jones right now, and she's going to introduce some of our guests today. So, Sharon?
It's always a pleasure to remember all of our former teachers, like Mike said, who laid a foundation for those of us who are still here. It's always a challenge for me to see if I can remember their names before checking my cheat sheet as they walk in the door. And I think I only forgot one today, and I had to look at the name tag that they were filling out. But thank you again for coming. And I'd like you to stand when I say your name so that we can applaud at the end and recognize you. We have with us today Bob Caveira, Mary Duchesne, Kelly Flagg, Linda Frederick, although she's been back working with us so much this year, I said, are you sure you're retired? And then I lost my place. Carol Gable, Cheryl High Street, Jackie Hill, Nancy Inman, Norma Johnston, Amy Lord, Bob Lord, Tina Lewis, Shirley McIntosh, Deb Mercer, Mary Miller, John Moore, Tom Noble, Sharon Phelps, Jason Potter, Marilyn Potter, Lauren Rasmussen, and I know Bob gave, or Mike gave Bob Regan special recognition, but Patty's also here, and we always felt like she was just as much a part of us as everyone else. Patty, Regan, Rhonda Rice, Karen Little, Roberta Ridley, Dorothy Brennan, Annie Zanella, Jane Slaw, Becky Smith, Sandy Smoker, Chica Snell, Sandy Stone, Kathy Van Ravensway, and Arla Weaver. Thank you all for coming.
Gail Hicks will introduce our first retiree. Gail?
Darren, we had to put this down so it didn't cover everybody's face. How's that, Darren? Okay. Welcome to everybody, and the first retiree is Trish Rosnick. Trish, come on up here and join me, please. Trish is leaving us after many years, 17? 17 years. And I gotta tell you a little story. I joined Wilkshire's family 6 years ago, and Trish was one of the first people to welcome me. And Wilshire is a very special family, but Trish was one of those people that came up to me and said she was so happy to see me, smile on her face, and she always has a smile on her face, and that's probably what I'll miss the most. So, and what Trish is going to miss the most for me, though, is that I always have cold hands, and she's always warm. So I will miss that from her, because whenever my hands are cold, I just go to Trish, I just put my hands on her, and so we're very good for each other. Yeah. Trish was asked what her plans are for retirement. She says she plans to enjoy her family, do some traveling, and make special memories with her 2 grandchildren, Rock and Logan. And another one on the way, 3. And is there something you would like to learn or pursue during your retirement? At this time, she has nothing specific. So she's just going to enjoy retirement. So we wish you all the best, and we'll miss you very dearly.
Judy Tigrini.
What a special day for 2 people at Raleigh that we are going to miss terribly. First, I'm going to start with Louisa de Blasio. So Louisa, come on up. Excuse me, I have a cold, so I'm kind of losing my voice. As you can see, Louisa and I have a very close relationship. Louisa has been the most wonderful person in our building. She works with our students as well as our staff, helping us be problem solvers, kind to all, and team players all the time. She is one of those people that it doesn't matter if you're a student or if you're a staff member, she always has time for you. What does she plan to do when she retires? Well, her present plans are to do something where she's contributing more than she is already, and she's contributed so much to us, but she's going to spend time with her daughter Amelia and her husband Richard, who are here today joining us. She plans to visit relatives and friends for longer periods of time and keeping a happy routine. And I think the routine when you retire is you don't set the alarm clock, you have a lunch instead of breakfast and lunch, and maybe you get out and do a little bit of walking, but she wants to enjoy those simple pleasures. Also, what does she want to do? What are some things she might pursue in her retirement? Some of those things are working on updating a family tree, practice speaking and writing her first native language, which is Italian, and to enjoy the new freedom of navigating a new career path for the challenges and blessings that lie ahead. And the one thing about Louisa that we know is that she will always be helping others, because that's just who she is. So congratulations, Louisa. Our next retiree is Tom Zira, so come on up, Tom. Tom's walking up here right now with that sly little smile that he has. You're going to miss that as he's walking down the halls because, you know, sometimes he just passes you by and there's a little comment that comes out of his mouth. You're not sure if it's a joke or if it was the truth. So sometimes you have to go back and recheck those things. But Tom, oh my gosh, what can I say? He is going to really be missed. He has become the Raleigh science guy of anything, but he's a fabulous teacher. People look at him as a great science teacher, but he's a great teacher in all areas. He really gets those students to understand the importance of follow-through, organization, and it's interesting because if you were to take a look at Tom's room, you would think that organization wasn't really his forte, but probably he works hard. His kids know how to organize themselves once they leave his classroom. Now, he wrote down some things he plans to do after he retires, which is interesting because one of the things he wrote down is possibly getting in the service of a political candidate, working on a political campaign, see how that works. He wants to maybe do some more with elementary science. And down here where it says, what would you like to learn more about? He talked about wanting to learn how to teach elementary science because maybe his 38 years of experience haven't taught him enough. The other thing about Tom is that he's quite the tennis player, and he plans to keep his tennis going. He hopes to, reach a 4.0 ranking in tennis. I have no idea what that is, but that's before he's 70. What is that, Tom? Okay. So that would be A, I guess, right? And to spend time, his son owns a business in the Lone Star State, which is Texas, and I guess he's trying to convince Tom and his wife Sue, who is also here today with us, to join him down there. And so he talked about maybe getting some cowboy boots and a pickup truck and heading to Texas. So who knows what Tom will do, but we know we are going to miss him quite a bit at Raleigh, and thank you for everything you've done for us, Tom.
Jenke.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm here today to introduce to you two outstanding professionals. But before I do that, I just want to say congratulations to the other retirees here, and also to Linda Frederick for working almost full-time with us at the high school this year as well, so thank you very much. Carol Sanford. Carol, if you'll come forward, please. As I thought about some things to say about Carol, and we actually had an opportunity yesterday at our faculty meeting to share some thoughts about Carol as a faculty in a time together. I reflected on some of those things and put some thoughts together. Words that come to mind about Carol: compassionate, caring, team player, intelligent, gentle, and something I think that's pretty current that we all can appreciate: no child left behind. It's often said about retirement, the harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. And I know this is the case for Carol. I know Carol, if the state of Michigan's early retirement incentive didn't happen last year, well, quite frankly, she would not be here today being honored as a retiree. Carol was born to teach, and she's been a pillar at Haslett High School for 39 years. That deserves a round of applause. In retirement, Carol plans to spend more time with family and friends. Within the next 2 years, Carol and her husband Jerry hope to move to Syracuse, New York, to live closer to their 2 children and 3 grandchildren. 4 now. Carol plans to stay involved in community government and to pursue some volunteer opportunities. Finally, Carol, I am so thankful I have had the privilege of knowing someone like you. My very association with you has helped my life become richer and stronger. I am thankful that a person exists in the world like you. In my mind, Carol, retirement may be an ending, a closing, but it is also a new beginning. Congratulations, Carol, on your retirement. Dee Schnarr. Thoughts, words, they're pretty hard to find. You know, there's lots of them. Passion, driven, committed to excellence, master of instruction, kind, loyal, and I think you can appreciate this as well. Failure is not an option. It's been said about retirement that when it's time to retire, you return from work one day and you may say, "Hi, honey, I'm home forever." Well, I imagine in the next 3 days that Dee will say that to her beloved husband of so many years, Fred, who patiently has waited for over 13 years for Dee to retire and join him in retirement. Dee and Fred plan to travel the United States to their heart's delight, especially where their children and grandchildren live. Dee's bucket list of new skills includes learning to play the violin and to speak Spanish. She would like to volunteer as much as possible in a variety of venues. She also hopes to continue to attend as many Haslett High School plays, choir and band concerts, and athletic events as possible. Dee's bottom line, throughout all this, she intends to read every good book she can get her hands on and enjoy an activity with no papers to grade on her lap. So very true. Finally, Dee wants everyone to know how appreciative she is of all the wonderful years she's had at Haslett, and she wishes everyone the very best. In my mind, Dee is just retiring from work, but not from life. Congratulations, Dee.
Andy Bridget.
I have the great honor this afternoon of introducing and talking about Mrs. Donna Redker. So Donna, can you please join me? You know, as I prepared for this presentation, I practiced and I rehearsed. I just couldn't really get down how to do this whole thing while calling square dancing. But I tried. And the other thing is I thought that maybe when I started out I could put some tape across my shirt and have it say, you know, Andy, and on the back, Bridget. It's interesting, as a young principal, when I first started here, you know, it's very important that when you come into a new place that you learn the history and the culture of the community. And I can't think of a better person for me to be able to learn that history from than from Mrs. Redker. And it's interesting, I started in August of, this is my 6th year here, and I sat at my first administrative meetings or principals meetings, and we would be talking about making decisions and doing this and doing that, and it always, the discussion always ended, well, we need to talk to Donna. And I remember sitting there going, who's this Donna? We have to run everything past Donna. So, and I realized 6 years later, you know what? We run everything past Donna. after my first year here, I sat down with Mrs. Redker and I said, you know, give me a little feedback. I want to know how the first year went. And actually, it wasn't, the full year hadn't run its course. It was about 6 months into it. I said, Donna, give me a little feedback. How are things going? You know, I'm new to this. What's your feel? And she looked at me and she says, no. I'm going to save all my comments until I find out how you evaluate and treat my staff. Noted. Without exception, the teachers, the professional teachers, certainly not only in our middle school, but across this district, they're Donna's staff. She absolutely bleeds for you folks and cares more about your lives and your families and your profession than any one of us will ever realize and appreciate. And just wanted to thank you so much for our relationship that we've built and the ways that we've worked together to problem solve not only student issues but faculty issues or whatever. It's been fantastic, absolutely fantastic. One of the things, I have to share another story here real quick, is when we were talking about, there was a student that was acting up in her class, which rarely happened. But Donna had said, you know what? And I have no names here, but this kid's going to get disciplined Redker style. Okay, we'll go with that. So, and Mark, honey's coming home, you know that. Okay, so some plans for Donna during retirement. She wants to travel. She has a very interesting travel pattern here. She's going to China. Yeah, and then to Minnesota. Some New England states this summer. She wants to spend some time on the water at their cottage on the west side of the state. Also, it's very important for Mrs. Redker to stay active in the MEA Retired. She talks at length about that. So. She also notes on here that she wants to continue doing some volunteer work. Being a lifelong learner herself, she talks about taking some art classes, wants to learn Spanish, and also take a photography class. So, congratulations. She's said that one of the things she notes on here, she's not going to miss getting up on these cold winter mornings and driving on the ice to come to school. But thank you for all your years of service. We love you, and we're going to miss you greatly.
You have to sit down for just about. I'm not done. Everything that Andy just said about Donna, it's true. I mean, it's true. And, sometimes we didn't have conversations. She kind of told me the way that it was going to be. And we'd battle a little bit, but it was always respectful. And the one thing I can tell you is, and I know that Bob Regan is sitting here as well, is that we have always enjoyed a great relationship with the unions here. And that is a testament to Donna's leadership. And she will be missed. I have every confidence that we're going to move forward in the same fashion in which we've been accustomed to around here. But Donna, certainly you are going to be missed. You have been a gem for the Haslett Public Schools and for this community. So I want to thank you on behalf of myself, the school board, and the entire community and teaching staff. Thank you. I'm not sure. Are you supposed to take over again, Donna? Or is this where Ross comes in? Okay, Ross Brower is going to assume the next part of this program.
Ross Brower is not going to assume anything. I've learned that. Indeed. Well, first of all, what a remarkable group to be attending today. I know so many of you and taught with you when I was only this big. And you are a remarkable group of people. And, unfortunately, I saw some of you last night at Okemos Presbyterian Church for Tom Devine, and that was sad. But it is nice to know that you also come together and celebrate each other and continue to be active people. I enjoy that about you a lot. I'm not supposed to talk much. Behind every great man is a woman. I've inherited Stephanie. And she just, kind of straightens my tie and pushes me out there. So she's good. So I just want to congratulate everybody briefly, and the HEA has a little gift for you, and know that we too want to honor your memory and your teaching career, because all of our honorees today are just diligent, honest, hardworking, kid-loving people, and you're all amazing. So I will be brief. First of all, I met this lady when I was 25, and I would sit at the staff meeting with Tony Waldron at the high school, and her favorite thing to do would be, and so if I was trying to figure out whether to believe this or not, I would check Carol's face. And first of all, Carol is a little bit like Greg Lindsay, another guy I had the lovely job of working with for a long time. And she's so quiet, and her humor is so dry that, you just wait for that moment, and then in pops the zinger. And both of my kids had an opportunity to have her, and they just love your class, and they loved you. So, Carol from HEA, come get a gift. Thank you so much. Carol and Donna have gotten shorter. Okay, this next person is shy and demure and almost prim. And again, this person actually started teaching after I came here. And so I knew she was an instrumentalist of some sort, and I thought it was the bassoon, but I might be confusing her with Cheryl High Street, because she shares other things with Cheryl High Street. Anyway, but I found out that my stereotype of her was not true at all when I started finding out things like she plays organ. Oh, at a church. Oh no, for hockey games. Now, this turns it up just one little notch. And then in 1997, I heard her say darn. So I know she has colorful language. Was out to dinner with my wife one night, saw her drinking a beer. And you don't know this, but my son was somewhere, and you were out enjoying the evening, and he said, Dad, Mrs. Schnarr, I think she had one too many. Because she was a little happy and friendly with us. He wasn't drinking, I hope. Anyway, so I have relabeled her. She's not this prim and proper teacher, but I call her my hockey broad with a mouth. So anyway, Dee, I don't know how long you taught here. How long was it? Yes. 25 years here, and then somewhere else? 27 total. So you couldn't keep that first job, is that? Okay. Well, anyway, who could possibly take over for Cecilia High Street, because she was a pillar. And Dee stepped into her shoes and has done just great, great work. So Dee, on behalf of the union, thank you so much for all you've done for us. We're on school grounds, so a thank you would be better than a hit me. Yes. Yeah, I'm like Gunnar Johnson, I turn red. Okay, next person. If I actually had to look up the definition of empathy, because I thought, well, I'll use that when I was writing stuff out, and this is before someone told me to keep it short. So I looked up the definition of empathy, and this person is empathetic to absolutely every living thing on the planet. She is so tender and so understanding that, you know, at times you just kind of want to shake her and go, really? Can't we get some, well, you know, this person needs this. And I have learned a lot over the years from Louisa and her patience and her love for truly everybody who walks through those doors. I have never, ever heard her say a negative comment about a student or a staff member or even an administrator. So Louisa, on behalf of the union and Haslett, thank you for all of your lovely, lovely work over those years. We're going by age. Next one shares a trait of Carol, this wry sense of humor that I've taught with this person for, I don't know, 20, 24 years, and I still don't exactly know when he's telling a joke or not telling a joke. And Tom, I am right there with you with the messy office thing. But remember, a messy office is a sign of a creative mind. And it does get cleaned up every year. And that's all that counts. You know, you got those stacks, and when you need something, you know it's the fifth pile down on the right-hand side. It's good, we're together on that. Tom has worked tirelessly to continuously improve the science curriculum in Haslett Public Schools, and almost, I think, single-handedly has led the rest of the staff to making science a very valuable part of a kid's education here. And if you don't know Tom, he's always like this, even when he's mad. And he's just so cool with the kids all the time, and they respond so well to him and the way that he is. So, Tom, thank you very much for your humor. So come on up and each show us the thank you for Okay. This woman still scares me. I met her when I was 25 in the back hall. We were called the back hall because there was no other building out there yet. And it was just the shop teachers, the band room, and the gym. But I think the choir room was there too. And believe it or not, when I came, we were still doing corporal punishment. And so you would hear a knock on your door. This is 1982. You'd hear a knock on your door, and it was probably somebody, probably a male teacher from down in the shop wing, saying, Ms. Farrow, would you come out here and witness this? What? You know, and then you'd see they've got this wooden paddle, and, you know, they, honest to goodness, they would say, okay, bend over and grab your ankles. And I'm thinking, you're not really gonna, well, okay. Luckily, we did away with that in '83, I think. But every once in a while, Donna would be out there as part of that team that used that before Tom Lupo's assertive discipline. Those were wild and crazy years at the middle school, for those of us who lived through those. But anyway, she scared me. She scares me a lot. The first year, she said, "Brower, you are so naive." And just the other day, I said to somebody, "You are so naive." So So I'm turning your name into a verb. When I have to correct a union member, I'll say, "You've been Donna'd." So I find out, I know that Donna's worked here 39 years, and Sharon, she subbed here before you hired her. So I think that she should get the 40th pin. The 40th year pin. You check your records on that. Okay. Okay, well, and Gail, you probably remember if she subbed back then. Yeah, you remember. You're the new historian now that Donna's gone. Anyway, out of this intimidation that she had such control over me in that back hall, she scared me to death. And I thought she scared her kids to death, too. And I'd have to kind of go in and say, "Donna, can I have some of the sixth graders so we can practice the concert?" And she'd say, "Well, do you really need them?" "I'd like to have them. The concert's a couple days away." "Yeah, okay." So she would always let the band destroy her classes because, we take out 24 out of 30. Andy, you try to square dance with 6 people. It's hard. So anyway, I have always respected her and honored, admired your sense of dedication and that ferociousness. And what I thought was just this really angry woman is, she's this loving and caring, and the amount of respect that she gave all of her students, whether it was in their discipline or, just teaching them how to square dance. Here's the bar, and everybody gets to that bar, and you just hear the kids tell their stories. Kids who are 60 years old now. They're telling their stories about how Mrs. Redker, really shaped their lives. And anyway, I'm not afraid of her anymore too much. Stephanie. Anyway, and Donna stepped in and took over the presidency of the union, actually in a write-in ballot. She wasn't even running. And someone said the next morning, "Well, congratulations, you're president." She said, "President of what?" And lo and behold, 15 years later, we just appreciate she has navigated some very tricky waters over the years. And along with our administration, has kept the reputation of Haslett intact so that we are reputable and people want to move here. And you are a huge part of that, Donna. So I don't have the 40-year pin yet, but we do have a little gift for you too.
Couple more people I want to thank. Cheryl Horton, where are you? Cheryl's in the back. Michelle Gustafson and Sharon Jones. Where's Sharon? She's She just went out for all of their help in organizing all of this today. They're the people that get all the letters out and all the invitations, so thank you very much. I want to thank all of you for participating today. It's my hope that we'll have even more people next year, so encourage our retirees to participate. So thank you so much for attending today, and best wishes for a great year, a great summer to all of you, and a great following year. We'll see you back here next year. Thanks for coming. Oh, Kristen Galtzer, I missed you. Another board member, so she's here.
No.